Thank you, Deputy Speaker. Well, supply and demand, very basic economic concepts, clearly concepts that those opposite, including the Prime Minister and the Treasurer, don't understand. If you increase supply and demand stays the same, prices will come down. But over 2 years of this government, we have not seen one policy initiative to increase supply in early childcare sectors. All their initiatives have been aimed at reducing prices by providing wage subsidies, which in and of themselves understand that it has a role to play, but only if you increase supply. Because if there's only a fixed amount of places, guess what? Prices go up. Economics 101. And as a constituent in my electorate, Carly from Murrabak recently contacted me about this issue, and this is what she had to say, and I quote, "The cost of daycare is absurd. They've just announced they are increasing it again. My child goes 2 days per week and is now going from $149 per day to $159.50 per day, of which we are subsidised 50%. No change from Labor's supposed cheaper childcare." Another family in my community has gone from paying $162 per day to $175 per day after the increase in the subsidy last year. Another family has had a $13 a day increase from $129 to $142 a day. Deputy Speaker, I could sit here all day and use examples from my community or any community across the country of prices going up despite what the government promised. And the reason they can't deliver cheaper childcare is because they're not investing in supply. They're now going to subsidise wages, but they're not prepared to actually commit to a long-term plan. As the member for Moncrieff said, and I commend her for this motion, the government have committed to this for 2 years. 2 years, and then who's going to pay for it? The people that need the childcare. And they've also capped prices at 4.4% over the next 12 months. So they're capping the increases that our childcare centres can have at a time when the cost of food for the young children is going up. The energy at the centre is going up. The wages are obviously going up. If they've taken out a loan on that site, their interest rates are going up. So every cost is going up, and the government is saying 4.4% is all you can increase if you want to get access to this subsidy. They don't have any real plans to address the actual symptoms. It's all about treating the cause. It's Band-Aid solutions that make it worse. And childcare, it is an essential part of our life. We need to continue to invest in it. I was lucky to recently visit Hanson Park Preschool in my community. I want to thank Amy and the Parents and Friends Committee there, but also the educators for the work they do. I was lucky enough, prior to politics, my wife Rachel was the president of our local preschool where my children went, and I've seen firsthand the amazing volunteers that put in so much for the community to make sure that children can get that early childhood education and support they need. But again, they're being let down by this government. They're being let down because there's no investment in supply. And the thing is, you can talk about price, and that is important, but it doesn't help those that cannot find a place. And in my community, we are definitely a childcare desert. There are currently 9 million Australians that are living in a childcare desert with little or no access to early learning education. And the member for Moncrieff came to my electorate, and we met with Belinda and the team at Mums of the Hills. And we were talking to many of the parents who are having to put their children on wait lists as soon as they are born. They are having to pay a fee in many cases just to get onto a wait list. For every 15 parents that are trying to get into childcare, there is one place available in my community. And what we hear from the government about addressing these deserts in my community and many regional and peri-urban communities? Nothing. For 2 years we have heard nothing from this government on how they are going to increase childcare places. It's very easy to talk about a subsidy, but it doesn't help if you can't get a place. And that's why, again, this government has the wrong priorities, They're not addressing the cause of these issues, they're addressing the symptoms. It's why after 2 years there's not one Australian that's better off.
The question is that the motion